Would you just look at that view? This is one heck of a location for a frame-by-frame episode, wouldn't you say?
Just excuse me a second.
What are you up to over there?
It's a damn fine cup of coffee. And hot.
Hot?
Hot.
Hot coffee. Yeah. Have you seen those trees out there? What kind of trees are they?
Oh, Douglas firs.
Douglas firs? Wow.
Big, tall, majestic. Look at those Douglas firs.
Wow.
You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown.
I'm Peter Binkman. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family will never be a real man.
Damn! Hot.
I'm kind of a big deal.
First rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, baby!
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Hello, Andy.
Hello, Stephen.
How are you?
I'm good. Actually, I'm not great because I had the misfortune since our last talk of watching the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film.
Did you?
Yes.
The new one?
Yes, the new one, the Michael Bay produced one.
Why did you do that? Why? What possessed you?
Stepson was around. He wanted to watch it. I thought, he wasn't into watching Interstellar. He wanted to watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so we watched that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And how was it?
It's not as bad as everyone makes it out, because some of the dialogue between the turtles is quite snappy and it's quite funny. But because it's not as bad as everyone makes it out to be, it's sort of worse because of that, if you get what I mean.
You like it to be bad, so that it's...
I wanted it to be worse than it was. It's not great, it is terrible.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as everyone would lead you to believe. Can I speak to Diane?
Oh, yeah. Hello, Diane. I've just arrived at a very luxurious hotel in the middle of the southwest. I do not appreciate their towels. They're a little bit pink. But their coffee is damn fine. Okay.
And what about that cherry pie?
Oh my gosh, enough of the cherry pie. yeah, really. This is about. Okay. So, really, where's all this coming from? What's
this
the
week
deal?
we decided we were going to talk about Twin Peaks Fire Walk with me.
Twin Peaks, the series?
No, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with me, the film.
There's a film?
There is a film. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I thought that was what I watched. Yeah.
Yeah, which tells the week. Obviously, Twin Peaks starts based on they find Laura Palmer's body. The FBI drafted in. That's kind of what the series is about. The film.
Come on, spoilers.
Oh, come on, everyone's seen it.
It was back in 1990, so
Yeah.
yeah, I think we're all right.
So obviously, the film deals with the week leading up to the death of Laura Palmer.
Right, just that 1 week before. So there's lots of mileage there for a 2-hour film.
Yes.
Lots of things going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost feel that next one we do should be a film I really don't like, because this is one of my favourite films, I think.
This is one of your favourite.
Yeah.
Well, we could do that. I'm pretty sure that we can watch The Room and Birdemic next time.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
But so yeah, but Firewalk with Me, it's not a well-known film. Not a lot of people. I haven't heard people talk about this in this country, at least. Maybe it's bigger.
No, I think you get a lot of film websites who'll do every now and again and sort of. It's a film to do a nice retrospective look at.
Yeah,
I think because of how universally panned it was when it first came out. Nobody liked it.
And probably.
I don't think that's right. I think some critics did get it, but not many.
Yeah, because it was David Lynch, sometimes people had a certain sense of enigma about it, because it was, usually his films are saying something that's not necessarily on the surface, and they want to make sure that they don't miss it, so...
Yeah, and obviously this...
Technically it's brilliant, but...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the series it's funny,
yes.
and it's quirky, and...
not obvious funny.
No, not obvious funny, and it's still got the Lynchian elements in it.
Yes.
You know,
those Lynchian elements. What are those Lynchian elements? What does Lynch do that no other director does?
I think the bizarre. Would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, you know, you've got the man from another place. I think he's called in the red room on the couch.
Yeah.
Who talks backwards yet forwards. Who actually did that, didn't he?
He learned everything backwards.
He learned everything backwards.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he's got, because people have that gift to be able to just do it, and his brain works in that way where he can just say anything backwards. But in contrast to the series, the film is very dark.
Yeah,
and
I think I was realising that last night because I was trying to watch it with my wife, and she's not a big fan of dark things. So I kept having to turn the monitor around a little bit and say, you don't want to see this. And then, so...
Obviously, the first shot in the film is that bat hitting the TV.
Yes.
That's quite symbolic, isn't it?
Yeah, that's been touched upon as being a reference to smashing the TV. This is not the TV show.
Yeah, this is whatever you think this is going to be. This is not what this film is going to be.
Yeah. It's not as straightforward. And David Lynch is never a straightforward thing. I think he's the kind of guy who will take a scene that's just a normal exchange between two people, and it will just work on it and work on it and work on it until there's something that hasn't been done before. Yeah,
well, take like his first feature, Eraserhead. On the surface, it's just about a failed marriage and a guy trying to deal with his kid.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it's about, but it's just dealt with in such dense visuals and
and an inability to relate to in-laws.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's that element too. So, yeah, very deep, very thick, but he's an artist. He sticks to it.
Yeah.
And it's not as... You never go into a David Lynch film feeling as though that halfway through or towards the end everything just becomes flat. He's consistent.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I probably find that he's probably the most consistent, but yet less derivative. Other directors kind of have their tropes. They have their certain things that they do constantly. I mean, yeah, he has his references to suburbia in a lot of his films. How things are all pretty and nice.
Yeah, but the underbelly of that is, I think, it's very different. Again, I'm going to start referencing all his films now, but
which ones are they?
You got the shot in Blue Velvet, haven't you? You see the white picket fence, and that guy in the fire engine going past with a smile, waving at the kids.
Which was actually an influence of the TV series Picket Fences.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big influence.
And then the camera goes down, it goes into the soil, and you just see all the worms, and it's all dirty, and there's,
Exactly. And
the dirtiness, the underbelly of suburbia.
So you could safely say that Twin Peaks and David Lynch himself have heavily influenced the film industry, especially. So why was Fire Walk with Me so...
Because it was... I think part of it is... it's not like the TV show at all. Why would it be? The 7 days leading up to Laura Palmer's death would not have been a happy time anyway.
Well, yeah.
So it's not going to be a comedy, is it? Even though it has got its comedic elements in the film.
Oh yeah, but they're more kind of...
Yeah, they're still abstract.
Still abstract and still, kind of Alaska in a way. I mean, he has that woman in red.
Yeah.
At the airplane and...
is that David Duchovny? It looks like David Duchovny.
Do you know what? I never actually connected the dots, but...
Because in Series 2, David Duchovny does play a transvestite.
Yeah, he does. Because she'd be the woman in red.
Yeah.
I just love the names that he has for his characters, like Lil the Dancer, I think that's the one. Kimberly Ann Cole. There you go.
It's not David Duchovny then.
But
edit that out.
Giggling Secretary, Old Guy at Haps, Curious Woman,
Jumping Man,
Fat Trout Neighbour, Jumping Man, The Electrician, Mr. Treadman's Grandson, Second Woodman, Heidi. And it's just Heidi's probably not as unusual, but...
Well, you've said to me earlier that you think people were fed up with Twin Peaks as well.
I thought that was alluded to during the Commode Uncut piece, that he kind of said that maybe that they were a little bit fed up with it. Because the thing is about the series is that you either like it or you don't. I think people will either gravitate towards it or they won't.
Well, I know in Series 2, the studio made them say who killed Laura Palmer.
Pretty early on.
Pretty early on. Earlier than Lynch and Mark Frost wanted to.
Yeah.
So do you think that kind of spoiled it? They wanted to drag it out a lot longer.
That could be it. And that's probably why, I guess, when you get studio interference, it does get in the way of the vision.
And again, that doesn't work with Lynch.
Why does Lynch, a guy who at that time had done so much, why did he have the interference from studio? Is it simply because he was on a television network instead of a film? The film is different.
Yeah,
after Dune, I don't think he would actually care for anybody interfering with his stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But I suppose once the first series was so popular,
yeah,
and it made Kyle MacLachlan a household name, all that kind of thing. The studio then want to get involved with it because it's been so popular. If it had just made its money back, and it was like a cult hit and people were into it.
But it could have gone on longer if they'd have just left it alone.
Well, they
still was going to make money for them.
Yeah. Who knows what goes on
exactly
in the minds of these fat cigar smoking idiots?
Yeah, fat cigar smoking idiot. I think he was also in this movie. Oh no, Gregory Smokey. No, this is the guy in the Roadhouse.
Well, one thing we can say for certain that Fire Walk With Me is absolutely David Lynch's vision.
No, he took control there.
Yeah, absolutely.
He took control. He took it dark. The other thing about that is that because it's a film, he can take it darker.
Yeah.
He can go places that the TV series couldn't because of censorship and because of certain things. So
I just want to talk a little bit about Cheryl Lee's performance in the film.
Yes.
I think it's one of the all-time great female performances ever.
That's saying something.
I will stand by that.
Yeah,
I truly believe that
and
she
I'm happy
is
with that.
astounding in this film.
And it makes me wonder: was she underused in Twin Peaks? I know she was dead in the very first.
Yeah, but she came back as
a
the cousin was a
cousin. Yeah.
She hasn't really done that much since, has she?
No.
I know she was in John Carpenter's Vampires. She turned up in that, and I know she's worked consistently, but maybe it's gone because no one got on board with the film, but that's Oscar-worthy performance in that film. It's just of a girl falling apart. She finds out in it that obviously Bob is the bad guy in this. You find out within the film that basically Bob's been raping Laura Palmer since she was about 7, I think she says. And for some very young, anyway, it becomes revealed that Bob turns out to be
Leyland.
Yeah, which is her dad.
Yes, of course.
And
it blows it all apart, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, and the fact that he was actually possessed by Bob, and Bob is actually the demon spirit.
Yeah, but Bob's a spirit. Because at the end of Twin Peaks series 2, Bob was possessed. Agent Cooper.
Yeah,
that's how that's ended.
So Fire Walk With Me is pretty much. Now you said to me before that Fire Walk With Me was actually, if it was successful, they were going to make other films.
Yeah,
but that didn't happen.
No, because it wasn't successful.
It wasn't successful. But there is hope.
Yeah, there was always hope. 2006. 16, yeah.
2006?
Yeah, it was already been done.
It's great.
But they're only releasing it in 2016.
Oh, yeah, just in case.
E-flat. But we're going to have...
interesting times ahead.
Interesting times, yeah. We're going to get back to Twin Peaks in
How
2016.
Many episodes?
Was it 4?
Was that all?
Maybe 6.
Is that all?
Yeah, I don't think they're doing a great deal.
They're doing a mini-series.
Yeah, a mini-series.
Maybe that's okay. Maybe we shouldn't be too greedy.
Yeah. But Cheryl Lee signed on.
Good.
Kyle MacLachlan signed on.
Well, it wouldn't be Twin Peaks without those two.
Well, going back to the film, he really didn't want to do the film.
Really?
Because he was so scared of being typecast as Cooper.
Cooper, yeah.
That he had a much larger role in the actual film. But as it turns out, they convinced him to come back, but just have a lot smaller role.
I don't think he had anything to worry about. I mean, he's...
he's not gone without work, has he? He's done quite well.
I mean, he was in Sex and the City for quite a while as well. I mean, that's another show that I remember him being in. I vaguely actually remember seeing him in
Showgirls.
Oh, was he in that?
Yeah, he was.
Showgirls. That back in 1995, wasn't it? That was after Firewalk with Me.
Yeah.
If he was worried about killing his career with Firewalk with Me, what the hell was he thinking with Showgirls? Paul Verhoeven, obviously.
Paul Verhoeven, yeah. You think, well, I've got
Can't
him.
go wrong.
I'm in safe hands here.
Yeah, I mean, that's slightly different than David Lynch. No,
yeah,
not that much.
Well, there's
both renegade directors who actually reach in for some sort of artistic.
Yeah, and I suppose there's boobs in Firewalk with Me as well.
There are, but there weren't any in the TV series because they couldn't get past the censors.
Yeah,
in America they would have.
Do you think they had a meeting while they're doing a series? Lynch drinking some coffee.
I think we should have
some boobs.
Can I order some boobs to go?
Not attached to a person, just a pair of boobs in the car.
That probably would have been his style, but unfortunately, back in those days, we were very, I think television now would have been fine with it, and he probably will be able to go. I think he'll be able to go darker in the new series.
Well, yeah, you look at some of the series that are out now. There's no limit to how dark you can go.
I'm surprised he hasn't done that earlier. I mean, I'm surprised that he hasn't gone with his gut and thought, well, there are other TV series. He's only ever done Twin Peaks on TV.
He has, but I think Lynch has spoken that TV now is a good medium for artists. Yeah. More so than film, I think.
Than it was before.
Yeah.
And I guess it's taken a while for that to mature.
Yeah. But now you've got American Horror Story, which is very graphic and full of boobs. You've got
Games of Thrones,
and
very dramatic, full of boobs.
Yeah, Orange is the New Black, full of lesbian boobs.
Yeah, well,
in prison.
And that's the unusual thing is that now, I mean, when we were kids, I mean, we're like 10 years old. We had no access to any of this kind of stuff. It was all very watered down stuff.
Yeah,
Twin Peaks wasn't that watered down. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in there that was off limits, I should say.
Of course. No one had ever seen anything like Twin Peaks.
I'm not too sure how big Twin Peaks was in the UK. My parents certainly didn't watch it because I don't think it would have been their thing. But
no,
really,
neither my parents. Because I got to Twin Peaks very, very late. It was just a friend of mine got the box set when it had been re-released, and we just watched the first episode, got hooked. That was it. Watched the full series. And then got hooked in everything David Lynch did. I just wanted. We've discussed this. This was one of the first times where instead of being a fan of an actor or just a film, I've become a fan of a director.
Yeah. Because
his work is so unique and.
Yeah, and you know that everything that you're going to see is untried territory.
Mm.
He's not going to just settle for the mundane or the normal. And so many things that he's done have been mimicked and influenced. It's not the other way around. He does not mimic. He does not take influences. I don't think anything that he does is parodied or influenced from anything else. I think everything is such a unique take on it.
To go to how much Twin Peaks has influenced popular culture.
Yes.
I sent you this video, didn't I? I was watching Scooby-Doo, a very new incarnation of Scooby-Doo with my daughter.
Right. Yes.
And they go into like a dream sequence. They walk through, and next thing they're in the red room.
Yeah. And this is a child's. This is for children, right? Yeah.
This is for children.
It's not like The Simpsons, where they're very obviously parodying.
That. Yeah. Because
this is just them. Oh, it's fantastic! That
brilliant.
I love it because kids won't get it, and their parents will just suddenly sit up and go, "Wait a second, I know that room."
Yeah. So
we've all been there before.
Because the film is so open to being interpreted in so many ways. That red room, where would you say that is, or what is it?
To me, it's in the head. It's definitely
You think it's in the head?
It's in the hippocampus. Yeah, it's that place where we all go when we're
because they do start to go more along the spiritual, more like occult vibe. Yeah. So I don't know. I think this place is where Bob sort of dwells, if you will.
Oh, so it's like
It's another place.
It's just another place. It doesn't. It's dimensionally really.
Yeah.
It's not it's not something that. It's not like it's in the back of a warehouse just down the road outside of Twin Peaks. It's actually a place where he goes tangibly. That's not in the head. It's not. It's actually just another place.
Yeah, because
it's not. Yeah.
Because at the end, after and I want to talk about just previous to this in a bit, but at the end of it, where Leyland goes to this other place, and then you got Bob next to him, and I can't exactly remember the exact words, but the guy from another place, the man from another place, says like, "You need to take his pain and memory or grief away from him now." Do you remember that? And he puts Bob puts his hand on Leyland's stomach, who's literally floating at this point, and then just puts his hand to the floor, and all this blood flies out. Because obviously, when you start Twin Peaks, Leyland doesn't even know his daughter's dead.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's an unravelling that he experiences throughout the whole series, and that's why his behaviour is so erratic.
Yeah.
Just close that.
Yeah,
that's buzzing like a son of a gun.
Is it?
We're actually in the interim studio at the moment, so we're in a very active room.
Yeah,
which is fine.
Stephen's laptop decided to come off standby, and his fan went crazy.
Yeah, so we can deal with that, can't we? We don't mind little interruptions. It's not as if the garbage guys are coming by. Oh, hang on. Can you hear that? Oh man, guys, it's not even Tuesday.
I'm gonna... If you hadn't have mentioned it, well, the garbage guys have turned up.
No. Because that's what we do here. we do this to ourselves, yeah.
Am I paraphrasing the Matrix there? What's really going to do you noodle in is, would you have knocked it over if I hadn't mentioned it?
Oh boy.
Oh, God, dear me.
Yeah, I know. So, what else can we pull out of this film? I mean, it is a great film. I enjoyed it, and I think it's the kind of film you need to watch more than once, I think, because... Yeah,
well, I watched it again last week, and it's so many layers. One of the reasons I like it so much is when I first watched it, it's the effect it had on me. Now, I think we need to discuss about the soundtrack and the way sound is used in this, and
yes.
When it gets to the point where they're in the train carriage at the end, and all hell's breaking loose.
Isn't there an angel?
That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So the sound's going all mad, and Leyland holds the ripped out pages of Laura's diary. And I thought you always knew it was me. And she's crying her eyes, and it's got that great camera shot just up at her face, and she's crying. She's looking around, and then the other girl's knocked out, and then she's not knocked out. No, she's just sort of coming to. And it's really loud. Then all of a sudden she looks up, and it goes deadly quiet. And there's that angel just floating there over the other girl. Mm-hmm. That had such an effect on me because it was so loud and violent and disturbing. And then it's just quiet, and you got like the angel of mercy in this. It's just over, and I was like, poof. And Laura's looking over, and I sort of know that she's going to make it out. But she's not going to, Laura's not going to make it, and it's just, I don't know, it had such an effect on me. That change between being so loud to just silence, and just that angel floating over. Oh, amazing. Wow. Absolutely amazing. I get chills just thinking about it, I don't know. That one scene had really effect on me. There's so much going on, there's different dimensions, there's David Bowie's in it.
That was weird. That was weird.
But it works though, because this sort of meandering stuff that he's saying, it doesn't make any sense. He's coming from the other place. He's sort of like, I'm pretty sure that other place is definitely another dimension somewhere.
Yeah,
Because where he's talking like he's still there, and he's just appeared and disappears.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And it's
temporal sort of. That's definitely not in the head. That's something that's physical. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's separate to the room, I think, though. I think the room is that dark.
It's the lodge,
place.
Isn't it?
The lodge. Lodges, yeah.
I think because that's where Cooper ends up at the end of series 2, is in the lodge, and I think that lodge is the other place. Oh God, because there's so much.
There is so much. Yeah, and I think so. And then the show, I absolutely love the moment where Cooper gets shot in the lodge halfway through at the end of season 1, I think.
Yeah, because
it's an amazing scene because he's lying there and he's trying to talk to Diane. I think he has his recorder on him.
Yeah.
But then I want to call him a maitre d'.
Yeah, because that's the beginning of series 2.
Yeah, and he walks in and he sees him on the floor. And he just doesn't get that he's been shot. He actually needs medical attention. He's like just wanders out, and then he comes back in, and it's like I love that. I love that everything has just got a twist on it that you just don't expect. And that's why you need to watch it more than once.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The films that they should be studied.
Yeah, they should be, and I think that maybe raising awareness of them helps get people involved and into watching it again, and because then there seems to be a bit of an audience missing out on it. I mean, if you're not aware of Twin Peaks, I mean, I wouldn't have been aware of Twin Peaks again if you hadn't have actually reintroduced it to me.
Right.
I knew it existed, but I never really cared to get into it until you kind of woke me up again, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm in, I'm done. And everything about David Lynch has suddenly been reinserted into my brain, even though I'd already gone through Lost Highway. I've already tried Blue Velvet, and I went through Dune. Not to say that Dune that's not really a reflection of him as an artist.
Do you know that Kermode was punched in the face after giving a bad review to Blue Velvet?
Really? In
the Corner House in Manchester. He didn't get it first time we watched it, and I'm pretty sure he said he was in the Corner House in Manchester. Some guy came up to him and goes, "Are you Mark Kermode who reviewed Blue Velvet?" He's like, yeah, and he punched him in the face.
Wow.
That's fans of David Lynch. That's how passionate they feel about his work.
Well,
but
isn't
subsequently
that just
to that,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you don't do that, but
you don't.
but now Mark Kermode has gone back and watched it, gets it now, and sees it for the masterpiece it is.
Yeah,
shows you, because all the critics at the time hated Fire Walk with Me, but now it's a cult classic, and it very rarely gets bad reviews if anyone goes back and has a retrospective on it.
I tend to think that David Lynch, he doesn't go out of his way to bring people in to watch his stuff. He goes out the way of getting his stuff out the way he needs it to look. He doesn't. I mean, Blue Velvet to me doesn't look like. I mean, the sound of the title doesn't sound appealing to me. The front cover of it, Blue Velvet, the title, the sound. You automatically start thinking about the song, and it kind of feels a little bit like something that you don't necessarily want to watch. It's like a plain dust jacket that hasn't got anything appealing to mass market. David Lynch doesn't want that mass market appeal on his products. He wants it to look like exactly how it needs to look, and that's it. Because to me, I mean, I never thought about watching Blue Velvet. It was only until I actually saw the scene with the ear on the ground, Carl McCockrum picks it up, and I knew it was, because it was actually in a film book, and I had to watch it then because it was referential.
I think
it's not something I won't go to. I won't go to it to watch it.
Yeah, I think a lot of Lynch's work, it has that, because like Lost Highway, for instance, I wouldn't watch it over other films. It's a masterpiece, and I love that film. But I know once I've watched that film, my day's done. Twin Peaks, Fire Walk Me, wipe me out for a day, because and Blue Velvet does. It's not a film you can just watch for a bit of a laugh. You know what I mean? His work requires so much of yourself to be invested in it that, for me anyway, personally, I'm out for the day, and that's the power of his work.
That is it. And if you don't get that, if you're not, it's not about face value. I think what I'm trying to say is that he doesn't get you excited about glamour and front covers and things like that. He's all about content. He's all about the subject and the content. It doesn't matter whether it's got posters up for it or anything. He just wants you to see the film. He doesn't want you to see advertising. He wants you to see the film.
I think a lot of the time it's about exposing what's behind that glamour.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of Lynch's purpose.
Yeah, and it's stripping it back and just...
You know, Mulholland Drive was about that, wasn't it?
Mulholland, yeah, that was... that's quite an intense one, that one.
Yeah, that's another film which... That Twin Peaks Fire Walk Me and Mulholland Drive, the first time I watched both those films, I don't think I spoke for about 2 hours afterwards. I watched Mulholland Drive in the corner house, funnily enough, in Manchester, with my friend, and we just went our separate ways, and I just went back to my apartment and just sat there in the dark, like...
Just
whoa.
thinking about it, yeah. I'm trying to think of the films that have done that to me, and funnily enough, one of the films that actually got me a hook, line and sinker was Arlington Road.
Oh, yeah.
With Tim Robbins, Joan Cusack, and was it Jeff Bridges? I think it was Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, I think Jeff Bridges. Yeah.
It's that movie it's got Lynch's paw prints all over it. It's not a Lynch film. In fact, I'm going to have to now open it up to find out who. So let's. Whoa! The vacuum cleaner has just switched on. Yeah.
It's not a vacuum cleaner, it's an actual vacuum. We're recording this inside of a vacuum.
Inside, yeah, we're actually inside a vacuum chamber, and we're waiting for...
Between space and time, we're in the other place.
We're in the other place. Arlington Road. Directed by a Mark Pellington.
He did the Mothman Prophecies. I didn't mind that. That was okay.
Yeah, there we go. Henry Poole is here. Really? Oh, it's got Cheryl Hines in it, so it's more like a comedy, I think. But yeah, I mean, I kind of imagined that he would be the next best thing to David Lynch. When I looked at Arlington Road, it really knocked me out.
But recently, he's directed a Linkin Park video.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. Rear Window, Red Widow, sorry, I was like, no way. Joan Cusack is not a terrifying person, but this director really has made that work, made that happen. I mean, are there any other films like that?
Films that have just knocked me for six. Pan's Labyrinth. That had the same effect on me.
That affected me too.
Yeah.
Not by but by the way that you think it was actually the pounding somebody's face in with a flashlight.
Yeah.
That stayed with me more than everything.
Because the camera does not shy away. You see every punch, and that's hard going.
That really. I mean, I've violence I can handle, but when it's so perfectly brutal and real and painful and frightening, it's the same with in Casino when they're beating all the guys at the end with steel poles, baseball bats.
And the head in the vice part, which eye pops out.
The eye pops out. That kind of violence, those violent images stay with me. Yeah. Those little moments of like, oh my god, I can't believe they just did that. But with Pan's Labyrinth, that moment was,
yeah, no, it's hard going. That
hard, yeah.
But it's the beauty of Pan's Labyrinth. I honestly think you could watch Pan's Labyrinth. You could pause it, keep your eyes closed, silence, and then pause at any point in that film, and you could just take that off the screen and hang it on your wall. That's quite true. That film is stunningly beautiful. Even when they're eating a sandwich, it's just She does eat a sandwich. She takes a sandwich to her mum. Yeah. I think it was something to do with food. But it's just so full of great ideas. I'd hang that on my wall. Good old sandwich. Yeah, he knows what he's doing with a sandwich. Guillermo del Toro does. Yeah. But then there's The Fountain, another subversive film. Yeah, that stayed in my head for a while. Did it? That lingered. Do you think it had such a profound effect on me because I was invested in the characters, and because I loved the TV show so much? Do you think if someone just went to the film without really knowing anything about the TV show, do you think it could have the same effect on that person? So if they just watch the film without the TV show? Just the film, yeah. Someone's told them it's a great film, watch it. Quite possibly. Yeah. I suppose if they let the film affect them, get into them. Let it breathe. Yeah. And in a way it could be more surprising because you don't know what's going to go on. You know what's going to happen. I think if you've got that predetermined idea of character destination and the actual overall story that's ahead, you put all it is about is putting pieces together. Now that could have been really bad because like any prequel, as you all know,
having the knowledge previous that Darth Vader is going to be this kid.
Yeah.
Eventually, and all that. With Fire Walk With Me, you don't think that much ahead. You think in the moment a lot of it.
You don't. Yeah.
You don't really go ahead and think, oh well. I think the only thing I looked at was, their hair is short, just like it was at the beginning of Twin Peaks. Oh, well, that makes sense. Because it's longer later. They changed their appearance. Oh, she's got 2 eyes. She doesn't have a patch on. Yeah. Isn't she in it? Patch lady?
Yeah, she is. Not.
Oh, hang on. No.
No, I don't think she is in it.
She's not in it.
No.
Scratch that. Okay.
How about the sound design? Obviously, the score was done by Angelo Badalamenti.
Yeah. I couldn't quite get his last name. Yeah. Say that again.
Angelo Badalamenti.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I love the jazz score to it, little swinging jazz.
He does that a lot, and I've noticed that
it's all through the actual series as well.
None of the actual themes were actually.
No,
the very conscious decision.
Yeah, the woman who sang the original theme for Twin Peaks is in it, but she sings it's a different song. But I think it's better. It's even better than the Twin Peaks theme. And it has that great moment where Laura's watching her sing this haunting song. She's burst into tears. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I remember that
film. But I love that scene when they're in the club, and the music's louder than what they're saying. You can't make out what they're saying. There's 2 versions of it. There's one that you've got the subtitles so you know exactly what they're saying, and there's one without. And I prefer the one without. I like the fact you don't. It's like you're there with them, and because the music's just driving blues, sort of rock blues track. That affects you as well.
You're right, and I think that was very, very. I think he covered his bases. I think that's probably what David Lynch tends to do. He tries something one way, tries it another way.
Yeah.
Keeps both, figures it out in editing. He probably has a lot more material to edit than the usual director.
Well, yeah, because they've recently released Twin Peaks, the definitive, whatever it's called. But I think there's over 2 hours of stuff that was cut out of Fire Walk With Me, which I have yet to see. I'm going to be seeing very shortly.
Well, that'll be quite an experience for you. I hope it doesn't spoil the experience completely.
No,
I don't think it will.
How
could it? I mean, if
I still have that film. It's one of my favourite films.
Exactly.
But again, there are better films, but the reason it's one of my favourite films is purely because of that
personal
effect it had on me because the first time I watched the film, it was on a grainy VHS tape.
Yeah.
And just that one scene, just that the angel scene was it's so profound. And
one of my favourite films is The Player, and it's purely because it's not a film that everybody likes, but it's a film that I go to. I can watch quite a few times over, and it's got corny moments, but it's designed that way. It's specific for that intent, but the whole storyline of a producer murdering a writer, I just found it exciting. And it's not everybody's favourite. Everybody loves
Unfortunately,
Star Wars, but that's not number 1 on my list, and it never will be. No. And it's the films that kind of they get missed. That fascinate me. The films that kind of fall between the cracks.
Is that why you still not watch Guardians of the Galaxy?
That's not falling between the cracks. That's a gap filler, man. that's it's in my way because I can't see the good films that are with the cracks. I do want to watch it now.
Good.
I do want to watch it. I have seen the trailer.
Right.
I did watch the trailer. I'm interested. There's a lot of Star Trek elements in there.
It's a space opera. It's fantastic. It's so good.
Is it like?
It's one of my favourite films.
Is it like Galaxy Quest?
No, nothing like that. It's not a parody at all.
Not a parody.
No, it's done with conviction.
Tongue-in-cheek conviction.
You have to watch it. It's Lots of people said it's weird. I don't think it's weird at all.
No, but weird is one of those things that separates you liking Fire Walk With Me and they like Transformers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
When people say weird these days, it's simply because it's not mass market.
Yeah.
Mass market.
But
mass market.
Because everyone thought the Guardians was a big gamble for Marvel because no one had heard who they were, and you've got a talking raccoon and a tree that says 3 words in it.
Yeah.
And then all the tree can say is, "I am Groot." That's it. Well, there's actually 4 words. I'm not going to spoil that for you. And but you end up caring about them. You get choked up.
Really?
Like, there's one part in it, I got a lump in my throat. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Oh dear! I don't think I can handle that.
It's great.
But yeah, I mean, I'm always drawn to films that are that not everybody talks about, and I think it's because they're out there and they've got a message and they're getting missed. And if people pound them, it's even more interesting for me to watch them. I want to go and watch that.
Yeah.
Because then it's like The Room is probably one of the most critically panned films of all times, but it has elevated itself to a status where people want to see it more than once because then they want other people to see it as well because it is so ridiculously. It's one of those films that you can't understand that it was made. You cannot believe that somebody actually invested their time in making it. But then you start thinking about, was it done intentionally? Is the joke on us? I mean, have we really? And some films are like that. That's why I do go to the ones that are that people kind of say, I don't like it, I didn't get it.
Like the filmmakers that made Birdemic.
Yes.
Are they sitting at home with a huge bank account laughing their arses off because people sit through their film and they've made it intentionally awful and they're just laughing at the fact that people are watching this and it's awful, it's terrible, and they're still watching it?
Yeah.
I think there's Birdemic too.
I think there is, yeah. And I think that their skills and technical knowledge of film is probably a high above what was actually created.
Yeah.
They did it intentionally because there is a lot more competence in there than that of many of those films that you see on Best of the Worst with Red Letter Media when they're doing. There is a competency to it, but at the same time, it's delivered in a very incompetent way. I mean, you can't fake incompetence. You can't fake it.
No, it makes me think of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yes, it does.
It's like you watch it, it's terrible, but it's done so brilliantly
because it is trying. There's a difference between trying to make it look awful and they're actually succeeding.
Yeah,
I think so many people try.
Yeah, I'd say Dark Place is one of the things that's done it the best. Remember the very first episode of it when she's walking down the hall and they just see 2 hands chuck a cat in. I was hooked. I thought, yes, I'm going to like this. I was hooked.
But you can't fake that. You can't just. You can't accidentally do that. You've got to do it with intent, and I think that's why those films are far more interesting than any film that Bruce Willis could ever be in.
Yeah,
including The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, did you guess in Sixth Sense? About halfway through, I thought he's dead.
If you're watching the film and you're conscious of it, and you're questioning it. Yeah, but I don't think I was actually into questioning it. I just watched it.
Yeah, you just weren't interested, really.
Watched it, and it was okay. It was good. It's a good film, and I think I was watching it for the kid more than anything because of his performance, and I kind of just ignored Bruce Willis most of the time. He wasn't that interesting a character.
Yeah, I think more people should ignore Bruce Willis.
I think he was just a little bit dead. I should have realised that, maybe that assumption. But no. I mean, Bruce Willis is fine. I've talked about this before. I don't know if I've touched about it on this podcast, but actors, to me, kind of have work better with the fear. Yeah. The fear
directors do as well.
And directors too. They direct better when they don't have any money, when they don't have anything. The exception to that would be Francis Ford Coppola's Tetra, which he did later on in his years. He wanted to do it as a personal project, but he had the money. He's not afraid to say that he actually stripped his budget down for a purpose because he wanted to have that fear again. Yeah. And thank goodness he did, because that is a sensational film, very very unknown film as well. But so many actors come to film now and they have this swagger, this arrogance, and they don't know what to do with it anymore. They know that they're going to get paid, they know that they're going to be liked, they know they're going to be signed up to sequels. They don't care. There's no fear. Fear in a performance is a big deal for me, and I like to see it.
Psychologically, what must it do to a person that you know that 80% of the people come and watch this film are coming to watch it just because you were in it.
Psychologically, do you feel as though you want to put your best performance on? I mean, surely, yeah, there are moments where you kind of get into it, but they don't have to get into it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. I mean, Brad Pitt in World War Z or X or T. Z.
Z.
Or
Z.
He didn't.
British.
He didn't need to. Oh yeah. He didn't need to. He didn't need to act his socks off in that film. He didn't have to do a lot. He didn't have to. He didn't come across as doing anything unbelievable or different.
No.
But in 7, there's a little fear there. There's still some fear there. And the same with Jodie Foster. I mean, when she did The Brave One. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I've not seen it.
It's basically her falling in love with the role of the taxi driver again, and but she is the Robert De Niro of that movie. She's the one who's going on her crusade.
Wow, that sounds
that was a fascinating project for her to go on, even though she didn't have to have the fear, but she did. She found it again in that film, and she really found her. But Jodie Foster's always been an actress who is more into her roles than, say, let's think of some overblown people.
Meg Ryan.
Yeah. Meg Ryan. Fear. What's she afraid of? Apart from Michael Parkinson
and plastic surgery.
I mean, to a certain extent, Amy Adams still delivers role.
Yeah, I think Amy Adams does. Yeah.
But I think that's one of the tests that I like to look at. I like to look at actors and actresses, and directors, of course, and maybe writers. You know, are they writing with fear? I mean, David Lynch seems to never get rid of that fear. When he's, I don't think he's the kind of person who even cares about being comfortable in filmmaking. He wants to.
Yeah,
feel
he wouldn't make a film
edgy.
hoping for good reviews. He has a vision in his head, and he has the unique ability to put whatever's in his head on the screen. People don't get on with it. He's not bothered. That's not what he's about.
Exactly, and then with
he's the opposite, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't have any fear. He doesn't care.
Maybe there isn't. Maybe that's beyond fear.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go two ways. You can either be arrogant and just say, "Well, I'm Brad Pitt. I can do whatever."
Yeah.
Or I'm Zac Efron. I don't even have to try.
Yeah.
I just have to be there. Or but I'm tailgating a lot of Hollywood celebrities here. That I kind of just think that they need to do something with themselves. I'm starting to notice now that Jonah Hill is starting to kind of just sit back and just let things just go with the scene and not really be.
Well, he got an Oscar nod, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got nominated for Oscar for The Wolf of Wall Street, was it? I think
so.
So now, does that make you just? Well, I've worked with Scorsese now. I've made it.
That's it. I see that a lot when I'm watching films, and the main actress in Fire Walk with Me, I've forgotten her name, Cheryl Lee. She
had fear in that film.
She had fear in that film.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that she is very good at being afraid on camera. I'm saying that she's acting as if she's never going to get an acting job again. That there is the fear is not working. So and I think that's something that I look at and I see.
Yeah, could go from that model Naomi Watts. Have the way she is in Mulholland Drive to the way she acts now.
Yeah,
it's different. It's very different.
Yeah.
She would never pick to do Mulholland Drive now.
No, because it's too much work and too much fear.
Yeah,
too much. Yeah, and that's it. That's pretty much the bottom line of that test. You know, I think that we'll be looking for that. We're looking for the fear. We're looking for the fear. What else? I mean, during the Alien. We're looking at the Bechtel test. I can still never get that word.
Yeah, I think it's Bechtel test.
Bechtel test. That's the other thing that we look for.
Yeah, the Fire Walk with Me did not pass it.
It didn't pass.
No.
Okay, so.
But I will let it pass.
Well, that is about relationships.
Yeah, of course.
So you can't have Twin Peaks without two girls talking about a guy.
Yeah, and she's
and vice versa.
Exactly, and she's obviously because Cheryl Lee, Laura Palmer is. She's been abused all her life, so she's on drugs and she's sleeping around with men and she's selling her body for money as well.
So it's
She's going to be talking about men at some point in the film.
The EF3. The scare is delivered on the EF3. Does that happen?
It does when she's seeing, I think it's a psychiatrist, that she goes talking, who's another person who's madly in love with her. And she's all upset and don't touch me, and then her face changes. She has like yellow teeth and black lips.
That's right, yeah.
That's on the EF3.
I've seen that, yeah. That
and you don't expect that, and you're like, whoa, wait, get on now.
Yeah, all of a sudden, and I think that's something that you don't expect from Lynch to, again, it's an unexpected...
Yeah, because you don't think a jump scare is not something you'd expect a director of Lynch's caliber to do, but he does it in Mulholland Drive as well.
But that was the Bilbo Baggins in Fellowship of the Ring. Grabbing the ring. It was that's
Lynch's influence. Peter Jackson
stole off that. Yeah,
it got to be, because that's exactly how it goes.
It's the same thing.
You don't expect it. Yeah.
The E of the Free, so that's in there.
Yeah, it's frame by frame. That's our thing.
Yeah.
You can't have it.
Yeah, and also
20 people will listen to this.
and acting with fear, the fear.
Yes.
And I think that those are the things that we're always going to bring up in every single review that we do. So, are we giving 2 thumbs up, just like Siskel and Ebert?
Yes.
Can you see our thumbs, people? You see, now I think that's an outdated term, because you know 2 thumbs up sounds like we're...
Right.
Yeah, because it's radio as well. It doesn't quite work.
No, it doesn't. But I think it works because it doesn't work.
That's all. Okay, well, there you go. Because it doesn't work.
We will use it. Yeah.
We will use it.
But I urge anyone to please watch that film.
Yes.
Let it get inside you. That's weird.
That's like 2 thumbs up.
Take the 2 thumbs up. Let it go inside you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you put the thumbs. It's just crazy talk. But yeah, Fire Walk with Me. It is worth the experience. It's worth the ride. And try Twin Peaks.
Absolutely, yeah. Really get involved with it, and we'll discuss it in great depth. But all Lynch's work, it's worth getting into. Anything from The Elephant Man into like Eraserhead and Mulholland Drive. And
I haven't seen Elephant Man. Do I need to leave now?
Yes.
There's the door.
Goodbye.
Shall I close it behind me?
Yes, don't let it hit you. One day my log will have something to say about this.
Liquid storage bags! You will never get caught short again thanks to liquid storage bags!
Here you get 8, that's right, 8 bags in which you can store your very own liquid items.
Bags are sold separately, liquid not included.
The attractive cardboard box is easy to open.
With each wonderfully transparent, durable, and easily accessible.
Ready to go! That's right, when you've got to go,
liquid storage bags are there for you! Liquid storage bags?
That's right!
Liquid storage bags!
They're sleek, sturdy, and stylish. And what's more, you can write all the information you need right there on the bag, where the space is provided.
Warning, do not write on liquid storage bags. Liquid storage bags cannot be found in any store, by phone, or online.
So you know that liquid storage bags are the product for you.
And only you.
What's it called?
Liquid storage bags.
Ah, yeah!
Liquid storage bags.